So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology. iPhone 11 Pro Max versus Galaxy Note 20 Ultra speed test. Let's begin with a boot up test in 3, 2, 1 and see which one gets there first. Now, the iPhone 11 Pro Max is a 2019 phone, so a more fair comparison will probably be the 12 Pro Max, and we'll see that one compared to this phone later this year. But we're going to see how the A13 Bionic stacks up against this 865 plus CPU in a Note 20 Ultra. Now, the Note 20 Ultra features 12 gigs of RAM. The iPhone 11 Pro Max only features 4 gigabytes of RAM. So quite a bit more RAM there on the right, and you've seen that the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra beats the iPhone 11 Pro Max when it comes to booting up. So quickly confirming their softwares, the iPhone 11 Pro Max, as of the recording of this video, 13.6.1. Yeah, I know the iOS 14 beta 6 is out, but that's not, we're gonna run beta software here for a speed test. You can see we do have Android 10 on board. This is running One UI 2.5 on the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra. That One UI software is also coming to some other Samsung phones as well. Okay, so we have the same apps lined up at first, but I just want to state that that whole debate about iPhone being smoother is not true here. I don't know if the 60 FPS is picking it up here, but the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra is far smoother when it comes to scrolling through the home screens on the devices. So the 120 Hertz making a big difference. Really hope Apple brings that to their next iPhones. Okay guys, so here we are. You can see all the applications are closed out on both devices. We'll go into clock first, and you can see faster for the Note, barely. Let's go into calculator. A little faster for the Note. That animation is just quicker, and I did not tweak it to make it quicker. The Note actually loads this slower due to some ads placed within the weather application, as you can see right there. We'll go into settings, and you can see a little faster for the Note again. Default animations. We'll go into Play Store, App Store. That's quicker for the Apple iPhone. We'll go over here into applications, and you could see that once you're in here, the App Store is a little bit quicker, a little bit better optimized, I think, than the Play Store. We'll go home. We'll go into Dead Trigger 2, and you could see the games on the iPhone still just rocket right open. Once you start playing though, I do believe that the Note 20 Ultra with its 120 Hertz display does have the advantage over the iPhone 11 Pro Max. As you can see right here, when just kind of going through and just moving around, you can just see that refresh rate on the refresh rate on the Note 20 Ultra just a little bit quicker than the iPhone. We'll go into Tempo Run, and we'll see which one could open this up first. And you can see this is pretty close. So when you're actually in these just casual games, it's not really going to make any difference whatsoever. Just which phone do you like more in terms of the screen size and, you know, display. So let's go into PUBG Mobile, and this will be our final game here. This is a little bit more intensive. PUBG Mobile still seems to load faster for the iPhone. That doesn't mean that you can't play it just as well on the Note. You can. It's actually smoother with the refresh rate again for the Note, but it seems to load faster every time. On the iPhone, it was actually first here. We just had a couple of things we had to X out. But if we go ahead and hit start match here, you'll see once again that the iPhone usually gets in first. But is the Note gonna shut me up in this one? We'll have to see here. But both of these devices, again, when it comes to gameplay, yeah, slightly faster here. When it comes to gameplay, it's really down to a smoother refresh rate, or, you know, having probably more game selection, and the games are going to come first to the iPhone. Let's go into Instagram, and you can see, looks like the Note had that one clearly. We'll go over here to homepage, scrolling through again. Look at the smooth refresh. Look at that chop on the left, just a little bit more chop on the left. So really want to see ProMotion. You can see this in the iPad Pro, very similar. This is very similar to iPad Pro when it comes to display. Let's go into Twitter, and we'll go over here to the profile page, and you see that the Galaxy Note just rocketed Twitter open faster than the iPhone. We'll go into YouTube Music. You can see faster here for the Android phone. Should be faster, as the Android phone does, you know, it is Google's application. This is a Google phone. Let's go into eBay, and you can see eBay faster for the Galaxy Note once again. So the Note is not messing around. It is a very fast phone with the 865 plus. Once again, faster than the iPhone 11 Pro Max. And we'll go into Best Buy, And again, this one's going to the 11 Pro Max. So the 11 Pro Max hangs right there with the Galaxy Note. Not all the time, but it does in a lot of areas. And we'll go into Geekbench 5 and you can see the iPhone a little bit faster. So it seems to come down to the app, which one's better optimized for which platform. But I could tell you, the Note is just smoother than the iPhone. And in terms of overall day-to-day speed, I think the Note feels faster. It's just the game's a little bit quicker and a couple apps a little bit quicker on the iPhone. Now going through the applications, we shouldn't see any reloads on either the iPhone. Actually, iPhone just kind of stuttered there on Best Buy, but Samsung phones used to have trouble with this, but they are getting much better as Samsung is now including more RAM on their phones. Definitely needed, as it's a pretty heavy skin compared to something like a Pixel, for example. And you could see pretty good there on both. What's impressive, and a lot of people like to say is impressive, is, oh, well, look at the iPhone doing that on just 4 gigs of RAM. Well, at the same time, iOS is controlled with the hardware by Apple, so I'm not surprised by that. But we are seeing very good multitasking abilities on both of these, and in terms of RAM management. Now when it comes to actual using that power and using that RAM, I will mention it because a lot of people like to mention this in the comments. You can actually do true multitasking on something like the Galaxy Note versus the iPhone. I know iPhone and iOS 14 is bringing a lot of new features, but it's not bringing features exactly like this. So you can definitely have multiple applications opened at once. You can still be doing things in the background. There's still a lot more ways to use the power on the Galaxy Note device, but at the same time, when it comes to the RAM management, super impressive for 4 gigs of RAM. Love that on the iPhone, and pretty good here as well, especially considering that's what we should expect with 12 gigs of RAM for the Note 20 Ultra. So we're going to open up a couple of web pages here to see which one is quicker, and you can see that was the iPhone there on the left, and we'll go ahead and open up another website. So how about apple.com? 3, 2, 1. And you can see Apple first there, a little bit first, I think, for the iPhone itself. Now keep in mind, this is kind of testing the Wi-Fi. If we were doing the LTE versus 5G, I find that the performance is better on the Note when out and about. And to be fair, let's go to Samsung.com, 3, 2, 1, and see which one gets there first. And again, that was the left for the iPhone. So the iPhone did a bit better here in this browsing test. When actually scrolling though, you know, it's pretty decent here. This could be down to Samsung Internet versus Safari maybe being a bit more optimized, but I can just, if you look at both of these, you can just see the chop on the iPhone versus that 120 Hertz display. It's very noticeable. So again, I still want to see ProMotion on the next iPhone. Okay guys, so here are the final scores, and the iPhone retains its crown in the synthetic benchmarks, beating out the Galaxy Note 20 Ultra with a score of 1332 single versus 957, 3376 versus 2964. The Note's pretty darn close to that phone, but in the real world, who's really the winner here? Well, I think it's pretty close. It's down to the software you prefer. I do believe the Note is the smoother, more powerful feeling phone though on the day-to-day, mostly because of that new adaptive refresh rate of 120 Hertz. If you go to display here, you go to motion smoothness, 120 Hertz is making a difference here massively. And having the more powerful multitasking abilities and 12 gigs of RAM, the Note 20 Ultra feels more powerful. But from a raw chipset standpoint, I think the iPhone still has the more powerful chip. But again, that doesn't make that much of a difference if you're not really utilizing all of that power and processing performance that this phone offers. So iOS 14 should help out with that. Anyway, you can't go wrong with either of these phones. They're the two fastest phones in the world. If you found this video helpful, entertaining, informing, click that like button for me. Let me know what you want to see next on the all-new Note 20 Ultra. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel for more. I will catch you all in the next episode. Be sure to be well, and peace.